Hello everyone, my name is Naveen Singh. I'll be taking physics for DMLT and paramedical courses. Today we'll begin with the chapter number 1, that is Introduction to Physics. This is chapter number 1. Chapter number 1, that is Introduction to Physics. Introduction to Physics. Okay, this is part 3 of the chapter number 1. This is part 3. If you have not part 1 and 2, please go and watch part 1 and 2. Okay, we'll begin with the chapter number 1. We were in question number 8. So let us discuss question number 8. Give an account of velocity in detail. Give an account of velocity in detail. So basically we'll compare velocity in this. We'll consider both velocity as well as speed. Okay. So first we'll learn the difference between speed and velocity. So solution: speed and velocity. So let us discuss speed and velocity by knowing the difference between speed and velocity. Okay. Okay. First, first difference is speed is distance by time. Speed is distance by time, whereas velocity is displacement by time. Velocity is displacement by time. Okay. The first difference is the formula. So basically, speed is a distance by time, whereas velocity is displacement by time. Okay, this is the first difference. This is a formula. Second one is speed is a scalar quantity. Speed is a scalar quantity, whereas velocity is a vector quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity. Vector quantity. So let us learn, that is scalar quantities means basically it will have only magnitude. It will have only magnitude. Uh, Speed will have only magnitude, but velocity velocity has both magnitude and direction. It has both magnitude and direction. It has both magnitude and direction. So vector, the definition of vector is it will have both magnitude as well as direction. Let us look at the another one. Okay, speed tells it tells the speed of the body. Speed will tell it tells speed of the body. It tells velocity will it tells velocity will velocity tells direction of the body. Velocity tells direction of the body. Velocity tells direction of the body, and then fourth difference is speed is always positive. Speed is always positive. Always positive, whereas velocity, it can be both positive or negative. It can be positive or negative. Okay, these are some basic difference of the basic difference of speed and velocity. So velocity is equal to velocity v. It can be written as velocity v, like this inside. Velocity v is equal to displacement by time. So we'll write like this: d by t. D by t. D is nothing but displacement d is equal to displacement where t is equal to time. So this is the, and v is velocity, and v is equal is velocity. Okay, this is the formula of velocity. Okay, so this is the formula of velocity. The SI unit of velocity is, it is SI. Next point is SI unit is meter per second. Anyway, it can be expressed in other forms also, but the standard unit of velocity is meter per second. Okay. This is the complete information about velocity. Let us move on to the next question. Let us discuss question number 9. So question number 9 says, question number 9 is explain temperature, explain temperature, explain temperature, energy and displacement. Energy and displacement. Okay, let us discuss this question. So first one will discuss about temperature. Temperature. First one will discuss about temperature. Let us see what is temperature. So temperature is the measure of average kinetic energy of the particle in a system. So let us repeat this. Temperature is a measure of, or you can it is a measure of average kinetic energy, average kinetic energy of a particle in a system, of the particle in a system. This is the average, this is a measure of average kinetic energy of a particle in a system. This is the definition of temperature. Okay, let us see next point on the temperature. Next point is temperature is an objective measurement of how hot or how cold is the object. Let us write that. Temperature is the measure of how hot or cold an object is, an object is measured with the thermometer. Basically, this temperature is measured with a thermometer. It is a temperature measuring device, thermometer. Okay, full stop. And next one, it means it determines the internal energy contained within the system. It means determining the internal energy, the internal energy. It means determine the internal energy contained within the system. Which one? Here there is a difference between temperature and heat. So obviously temperature and heat are two different things. Let us discuss what is the difference. Where Temperature is a measure of internal energy of the system. Temperature is the measure of internal energy of the system, whereas heat is a measure of heat is the measure of it is a measure of how it is the measure of how energy is transferred from one system to another. It is the measure of how energy is how energy is for how energy is transferred from one system to another, from one system to another. So last point we'll write in this. Here the SI unit of temperature is Celsius. The SI of unit of temperature is the SI unit of temperature is degree Celsius. The SI unit of temperature is degree Celsius. Although Kelvin is the base unit. Is the base unit of temperature. This is the base unit of temperature. Next one is energy. We'll write about energy. Next one is energy. Let us write the definition of energy. Okay. Energy is defined as the capacity to work. The definition of energy is capacity to do work is called energy. Capacity to do work is called or capacity of doing work is also energy. Capacity, or you can write like this: capacity to do work or capacity of doing work. Doing work is also definition of energy. It may exist in let us write forms of energy. So, there are some forms of energy. We'll write one by one. Forms of energy are potential energy, kinetic energy, kinetic energy, electrical energy, thermal energy, thermal energy, uh, chemical energy, or you can nuclear energy, and etc. Nuclear energy, etc. These are some forms of energy. Let us discuss one by one. Okay. First one we'll discuss about thermal energy. First one is thermal energy. So thermal energy is the energy from the movement of atoms or molecules. Thermal energy is the is the is the energy from the from the movement of atoms or molecules. This is the energy from the movement of atoms and molecules. It may be considered as energy related to temperature. It may be considered as energy energy relating to temperature. This is the complete information about thermal energy. Let us move on to the next one. Next energy is we'll discuss about kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. Okay. Kinetic energy is the motion of it is the energy caused by motion. Okay, it is the it is the energy of motion. Energy of motion. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. Basically, this kinetic energy is caused by motion. For example, swing. Example, swinging of pendulum, swinging of pendulum, swinging of pendulum. Okay. The next one. The next one, we'll move on to the next one, that is potential energy. Potential energy. Here, potential is the energy when an object will have a potential energy when it is raised above a particular height. It will give some energy that is called potential energy. We'll write the definition like this. The definition is this is an energy due to the this is an this is an energy is energy due to an object's position. Object's position. So any object will have a potential energy when it reaches some certain height. Then only it will have a potential energy. Let us discuss the next one. Next energy, next form of energy, that is mechanical energy. The next one is fourth one. Fourth one is mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Okay. Mechanical energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of the body. What is mechanical energy? Mechanical energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential of the body. It is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of the body is called mechanical energy. Next one is light energy. Next one is light. Okay. Light is nothing but photon are the form of energy. Light is nothing but photons are the form of energy. Photons are the forms of energy. These are the form of energy. Next one is sixth one we'll discuss about electrical energy. Electrical energy. Okay. Electrical energy is this is the energy from the movement of the charged particles. This is the energy from 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 the movement of the charged particle. Energy from the movement of the charged particles. This is from the movement of the charged particles such as photons, neutrons, electrons, such as protons, electrons, and neutrons, or you can say ions. Ions. Okay. This is about electrical energy. Next one is seventh one is magnetic energy. Seventh one is magnetic energy. So magnetic energy is a form of energy result from magnetic field. This is the form of energy. This form of energy results from results from the form of energy results from a magnetic field, from a magnetic field. This is about magnetic field. Let us discuss the last one, last but one, that is chemical energy. Last but one, that is chemical energy. Chemical energy. Okay. So chemical energy is it is released. Chemical energy is released or absorbed, is released or absorbed by the chemical reactions. By the chemical reactions, it is released or absorbed by the chemical reaction. Okay, this is the definition of chemical energy. Let us discuss the last one, that is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy. So nuclear energy, this is the form of energy this is a form of energy from the interaction of protons and neutrons of an atom. This is the, let us write the definition. This is an energy. This is energy from is the energy from interactions with interactions with interaction with protons protons and neutrons of an atom. Okay, what atom? Okay, nuclear energy is the energy from the interaction of protons and neutrons of an atom. From this, we will get the energy, that is nuclear energy. Let us discuss the next one. Let us discuss about distance and displacement. So we'll try to understand the distance and displacement by knowing the difference. Okay. First one is, write distance. Second one is displacement. Although both words look similar, but they have some differences in it. Let us see what are those. This is distance and this is displacement. Let us see the difference between distance and displacement. Distance is the length of actual path traveled by an object. Distance is the length of actual path actual path covered by an object. Covered by an object is called distance, whereas displacement means the shortest length between initial and final position of an object. It is the shortest distance between initial and final position. Initial and final position. It is the shortest distance between initial and final position. Let us see what is the meaning of this. For example, if an object starts from A to B, it moves till B, and from B to C, for example, from A to B, for example, it is 3, you can say 3 kilometer, and the object from B, or you can say a person moves from A to B by traveling 3 kilometer, and he moves from B to C by traveling 4 kilometer. So the total distance will be total distance, or simply distance covered, will be 7. That is 3 plus 4 will be 7. Whereas displacement, same thing. We can take the same thing. If the same person travels from A to B, that is 3 kilometer. Wait a second, we'll arrange this. Okay. We'll take the same example. If if the same person travels from A to B, that is 3 kilometer, he covers a distance of 3 kilometer. Again from B to C, he covers a 4 kilometer distance. The displacement will be this. That is, it is the shortest distance between initial and final phase. That is, it will be and apply the Pythagoras theorem. That is, AC is equal to under root of 3 square plus 4 square. That is 9 plus 16 is equal to 25 equal to 5. Okay, so it will be 5 kilometer. The displacement will be 5. This is the exact difference between distance and displacement. Let us look at the some of the other difference. Okay, we'll extend this line. Okay, the second difference is it is a scalar quantity. Distance, that is, distance is the scalar quantity. Scalar quantity means what? It is basically it has only magnitude. It has only magnitude. It has only magnitude. Whereas displacement displacement is the vector quantity. The vector quantity, that is, it has both magnitude and direction. It has both magnitude and direction. It has both magnitude and direction. It's called displacement. Next one is it remains. Okay, and the third one is it can be positive. Okay, it remains positive. It always remains positive. It always remains positive. It cannot be 0 or negative. It cannot be 0 or negative, whereas displacement can be positive, negative, or 0. It can be positive, negative, or 0. Okay, we'll look at another difference, that is distance can be equal to displacement. This distance can be equal to displacement or it can be greater than the displacement. It can be greater than the displacement. It can be greater than the displacement. Okay, here in displacement can be equal to distance or lesser than the distance. Displacement can be equal to distance. Okay, sorry, it can be equal to distance. Can be equal to distance. Can be equal to distance. Displacement can be equal to distance, or it can be or it's lesser than distance, or it's lesser than distance, but it will never be more than distance. So this is the these are the some of the differences of this is the difference between distance and displacement. So displacement can be written with the formula displacement displacement can be written in a formula like this. That is, uh, displacement is represented by S. This is SF minus SI. Wait a second. I'll erase this. SF minus S. SF minus SI, where this S is the displacement. SF is the display. SF is the final position, whereas SI is the initial position. Initial position. So displacement can be written like this. It is the difference between final position and the initial position. It's called displacement. Okay. This is the complete information of the displacement. Let us move on to the next question. The next question is question number 10. Question number 10 says, discuss force and electric charge. Discuss force and electric charge. Electrical charge. Let us discuss about force and electrical charge. Okay. We'll write the solution. Solution of question number 10. Okay. First one will discuss about force. So let us write about force. So the definition of force is any external effort in the form of push or pull that change or that tends to change the state of motion of a body is called force. It is the definition of force. Let us write the definition of force. Any external effort, any external effort in the form of push or pull that changes or tends to change the state of motion of the a body or dimension of the body. We can also take dimension of the body. For example, what is the definition? Let us crack this definition. For example, some object is there. Okay. Any extra, for example, you are applying a force on it. This is object. Okay, you are applying force on it in this particular direction. So basically what it can do, any external effort, there is an external effort in the form of push. You are pushing means applying force in this particular direction. It might change its shape, or it might change its direction. It might start moving in this particular direction. So it might move, or it can change its direction, or it might change the dimension of the body, or it might change the shape of the body. So they basically all this combined force is called force. Okay. It is an the definition. Okay, we'll read about the definition one more time. Any external effort in the form of push or pull that changes or tends to change the state of motion. That is, it can come into the motion. That is, it can get velocity. That is, change the motion of the body or dimension of the body. Okay. It can change the shape also. The force might impact the shape of the body. Okay. Let us move to the next. Okay, so I will discuss about few more. We'll discuss about this. Two more things is F is equal to the Dow formula of this is mass into acceleration. Okay, this is the formula of force. Okay, the SI unit of force can be written like this. Force is equal to the SI unit of force is SI unit of force is Newton or kg meter per second. or kg meter second, meter per second, kg meter per second square. Okay, so the unit of mass is kg, the unit of mass is kg, and acceleration is meter per second. This is the you can write both. You can write Newton or kg meter per second square. Okay, okay, this is the SI unit. Let us see what is CGS unit. CGS unit of force is dyne. The dy and the CGS unit of force is dyne. Okay, the relation between uh, Newton and dyne is, that is SI system and CGS will be 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. This is the relation between this and 1 Newton and 10 raised to 5 dyne. Okay, so last point in the force is a vector quantity. Force is the vector quantity. Force is the vector. Force is the vector quantity. That is, it has both magnitude and direction. It has both magnitude and direction. Is called vector quantity. Okay, force is a vector quantity. Let us discuss about next one. Let us discuss the Newton's laws of motion. Okay. Next one is, next concept in this is, important concept is Newton's laws of motion. So Newton gave 3 laws of motion. Let us discuss one by one. First one is Newton's first law. Newton's first law. Newton's first law. Newton's first law. Let us see what Newton's first law states. Okay, Newton first law is basically derived from law of inertia. It is also called as law of inertia. It is also called as law of inertia. Law of inertia. Let us see what is the definition of this. Newton first law says every object continues to be every object continues to be at the state of rest or at the state of uniform motion in the direction and until and unless an external force is applied on it. One more time we'll repeat. Every object continues to be at the state of rest or one more time. Okay, every object continues to be at the state of rest or uniform motion until and unless external force is applied on it. Let us write the definition of this. Every object continues to be at rest or of uniform motion in straight line until and unless any external unbalance force is applied on it. This is the definition of it. Let us repeat. Newton's first law states that every object continues to be at the rest or uniform motion in a straight line until and unless any external unbalanced force is applied on it. This is the Newton's first law. Let us discuss the Newton's second law. Newton's second law. Newton's second law. Okay. Newton's second law states that, okay, the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force and it is directed as at of force. Let us write the definition. The rate of change of rate of change of momentum rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force and is directed directed as that of force as that of force. This is the definition of Newton's second law. Let us see what is this. Okay. For example, this is some object having mass m. Okay, you're applying a force on this. Okay, it will the initial velocity of this is u, and for example, let us start this object start moving through this particular direction, which has a mass m, and the final velocity of this is v, and it covers a distance at a particular period of time is t. So initial momentum is m into u, and final momentum is equal to m into v. So this definition says F is directly proportional to P of F minus P of I by T. Okay. If you remove the proportional, you'll get a constant, that is K in the bracket. Pf minus Ti, that is final momentum minus initial momentum by time. Okay. If you remove the momentum, you can add like this: K is equal to mv minus mu by t. Okay. Okay, we'll take the m common. K m in the bracket v minus u by t. As you know that final velocity minus initial velocity by time is the acceleration. This is the definition. The acceleration is rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. So we can write like this: v minus u by t is equal to k. Okay, we'll remove this part and we'll keep a is equal to f. Again, we'll remove the constant. We'll get it will be like if k is equal to 1, if k is equal to 1, we will get f is equal to m into a. This is the derivation of Newton's second law, that is force is equal to mass into acceleration. It is a product. You can also define like this: it is a product of mass and acceleration. Okay, let us discuss the last one, that is Newton's third law. Newton's Newton's third law. Newton's third law. Let us see what is Newton's third law. For every action, it is very simple. Every student remember this. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. There is an equal and opposite reaction. So example of this is if you throw a ball to the wall, or you can say bouncing of ball. Example of this is bouncing of ball, or applying force on spring, or second one is the first one. A swimmer moves forward by pushing water backwards. These are some of the examples of Newton's third law. Okay. So we can write mathematically, we can write this F1 is equal and opposite to minus. The negative sign is opposite to the this one. Okay. This is the Newton's third law. Next one we'll discuss about. Next one is fundamental forces. Next concept is fundamental forces. Fundamental means basic force in the nature. Fundamental force. So basically, there are four fundamental forces in nature. First fundamental force is gravitation. First, this thing is gravitational force. The gravitation force that acts between two masses. All particles experience the force of gravity. So basically, this acts on acts on or acts between two objects. So every object will experience gravity on a every particle will experience force that is called gravity. Okay. Next one is magnetic field, or you can say electromagnetic force. Next one is electromagnetic. This gravity is a strong force. Okay. Magnetic force. Electromagnetic force. Let us see what is electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force acts between two charged particles, and the modulating particle is the photon. It is a force acts between electrical charge between electrical electrical charge and the mediating particle mediating the mediating particle is photon. And the mediating particle is photon. Next one is third one is strong nuclear force. The strong nuclear force. Strong nuclear force. Strong nuclear force holds the nucleus of an atom together, modulating by gluons acting on quarks. So let us write this. Strong nuclear force holds holds the nucleus of the nucleus of the together atom together mediating by gluons mediated by glycons or gluons acting on quarks. Okay, last one, weak nuclear force. Fourth one is weak nuclear force. Let us discuss what is weak nuclear force. Nuclear force is mediated by exchanging W and Z of both bosons. Okay. Next concept is electrical charge or electric charge. Let us discuss about electric charge. Next concept is electric charge. Electric charge. Okay. Whenever okay. Let us discuss about electric charge. Electric. Let us discuss about electric charge. Okay, electric charge. Whenever if you place a unit point charge in an electric field, okay, it will experience a, for example, this is a charge, unit point charge. Okay, it experiences a force in a particular direction. It is called electric charge. Okay, no? Electric charge is a physical quantity of matter that causes an experience force when it is placed in a electromagnetic field. This is magnetic field. This is magnetic field. When you place a unit point charge in a magnetic field, it experiences a force. That force is called Q is equal to NE. So Q is equal to charge. N is positive or negative integer. N is positive or negative integer. Okay, N is positive or negative charge. E is electron. E is equal to electron charge or electronic charge. E is electronic charge. Okay. Okay. Let us discuss the types of charges. There are two types of charges. First one is types of charges. First one is positive charge. See, positive charge is, for example, let us take an atom. Okay, it will have positive charge. Uh, it will have positive charge when it has deficiency of electron. Okay, it has more number of proton than electron, then it is said to be positive charge. Next one is negative charge or negatively charged. Let us take another example. Let us take another atom which acquires negative charge. Okay, when an atom or an object, we'll take an atom. If it has negative charge, that means it has more electron than protons. Then it is said to be negatively charged. Okay. Next one is properties. Let us see some of the properties of charges. Properties. Some of the important, one of the important property E, like charges repel, and unlike charges attract. Let's see what is the meaning of this. If positive a positive charge is there, it will always repel positive charge. That is, it repels each other. These two repel. Okay. Similarly, or if negative charge is there, okay, it will always repel negative charge. So again, there will be repulsion between them. Again, repulsion. Even it might be positive or negative. If same charges are there, they are 100%. They will always repel. They repel each other. If one is positive, another one is negative, they attract each other. They attract each other. Okay, attract each other. This is the meaning of this. Okay, na? Okay, this is a complete and last information in this is charge. Total charge is always conserved. Last concept is this: total charge is always conserved. Last point is total charge, or you can say net charge is always, or you can say net charge. Charge is always conserved. What is the meaning of this? See, for example, if you take one node at this particular, this is a wire. This is node. Okay, at this node, number of charge entered is equal to number of charge left. Okay, at any particular period of time, number of charge entered is equal to number of charge left. So this is so therefore that will be called as net charge will be always conserved. Okay, so this is the complete information of the question number 10. Let us move on to the short questions. Let us discuss one by one. Let us discuss short question. The 11th short question is atomic physics. Atomic physics. Let us see what is atomic physics. Okay. Atomic physics. Atomic physics is the branch of physics which deals with the composition of atom apart from nucleus. So let us write this. Atomic physics is the branch of physics. Branch of it is a branch of physics which deals with which deals with deals with the composition of deals with the composition of atom apart from the nucleus. Apart from the nucleus. No nucleus. Okay, next one. Next point in this is it examines the structure, property, and behavior of an atom. It examines the structure, property, and the behavior of an atom. Okay, next one is biophysics. Next short question is biophysics. Biophysics. Let us see what is biophysics. Okay. Biophysics applied to the tools and techniques of physics to study the living things and the life processes. Let us write the definition. Biophysics. Biophysics applies the tool and techniques tools and techniques of physics to study the tools and to study of you can say study of the living things living study of the living things and the life process and the life processes. This is the definition of biophysics. Like let us move to the next one, that is thermodynamics. 13th one is thermodynamics. Let us see what is the meaning of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is the study of heat and other forms of energy and the conversion of one form of energy to the another form. Let us see. Let us write the definition of this. It is thermodynamics is the study of heat and other forms of energy and forms of other forms of energy and the conversion and the conversion of and of the conversion of energy from one form to another from one form to another. These are the this is the definition of thermodynamics. Let us repeat. It is the study of heat and other forms of energy and of the conversion of one form of energy to the other form. Okay. This is the definition of thermodynamics. Let us discuss the units and symbols. So the 14th question is SI units. SI erase SI units and symbols. Let us write. So base quantity, we write base or fundamental quantity. Again, I have explained this. I'm repeating this. Name or symbol. Next one is symbol. Let us write one by one. First one is length. Length. It is length is SI unit is meter and it is represented with small m. Second one is okay mass. Second one is mass. SI unit is kilogram, and this is in the kg. Third one is time. The SI unit is second, represented by small s. Fourth one is electric current. Electric current. Electric current denoted SI unit is ampere. This is capital A. Symbol is capital A. Fifth one is luminous intensity, or you can fifth one is thermodynamic temperature, or simply temperature. Okay, right? Thermodynamic temperature, or simply temperature. The SI unit is Kelvin. Okay, represented a capital K. Next one is luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. Uh, SI unit is candela. Candela. Small c, representation small c, small d. And the last one is planar angle, plane angle, plane angle, plane angle, radian. Radian is SI unit, and it has been represented by RAD. Okay, now next one is, next definition is acceleration. 15th short question is acceleration. Let us see what is the definition of acceleration. Acceleration, the rate of change of velocity of an object with respect to time, is called acceleration, and the SI unit is meter per second square. Let us write the definition. SI unit is, it is the rate of change of rate of change of it is the rate of change of velocity of an object, velocity of an object with respect to time, with respect to with respect to time, is called acceleration. This is the definition of acceleration. The SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. This is the definition. So this is the SI unit of acceleration. Next one is frequency. Let us cite the definition. Let us know the definition of frequency. 16th one. 16th one, frequency. Frequency. Let us see what is frequency. Frequency of a wave is the number of waves that pass by each second, and it is measured in terms of hertz. Okay, let us write the definition. Frequency of the wave. The frequency of the frequency of the wave is the number of waves pass by each second, and is measured in and it is measured in hertz, hertz. Hertz, that is capital H Z. This is hertz. Okay. And next one, hertz. Okay. Let us write the distinct formula. Frequency is equal to 1 by period. Period is nothing but time. That is nothing but number of cycles. Number of cycles by time. Okay. Frequency is a reciprocal of time. This is the formula of frequency. Okay, and or number of cycles by time, and the unit is hertz. The unit of this is hertz. Okay, Here T is equal to period. Okay, period or the time which is required for one cycle. N is equal to a particular number of cycles, a particular number of cycles, and next one is T is equal to a particular amount of time, a particular amount of time. This is a particular amount of time. Let us go more to the next one, that is capacitance. Next definition is capacitance. 17th one, capacitance. Let us see what is capacitance. Here capacitance is the ratio of charge in electric, it is a ratio of change in electric charge of a system to the corresponding change in electric potential. Okay, let us write the definition. It is the ratio of capacitance is the ratio of the change in it is the ratio of change in electric charge electric change in electric charge of a system of a system to the corresponding 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 change in its electric potential. Change its electric potential. This is the definition of capacitance. Let us repeat. It is the ratio of change in electric charge. It is the ratio of change in electric charge of the system to the corresponding change in electric potential. Okay. There are two closely related notions to the capacitance. First one is self-capacitance, and the second one is mutual capacitance. There are two notions. The first one is self-capacitance. Second one is mutual capacitance. Mutual, these are the two notions, capacitance. Next one is magnetic flux. Let us see the definition of magnetic flux. This is question number 18. Magnetic flux. Let us see the definition of magnetic flux. Magnetic flux is the measure of total magnetic field which passes through a given area. Okay, this is the definition. Magnetic flux is a measure of is a measurement of is a measurement of is a measurement it is a measurement of the total magnetic field magnetic it is a measurement of total magnetic field which passes through a given area which passes through a given area. This is also through a given area. This is the definition of magnetic field. Let us repeat. It is the measurement of total magnetic field which passes through a given area. For example, we'll take this area. This is a particular area. Okay. It is a measurement of total magnetic field. These are some magnetic field which passes through this particular area. Okay. This is a measurement of total magnetic field which passes through a given area. This particular area is there. The amount of magnetic field which passes at a given period of time is called magnetic flux. Okay, it is useful for it is a useful tool for it is a useful tool for helping describe the effects of magnetic force on something which occupies a given area. It is a the measure of magnetic field flux is tied to a particular area chosen. Next one is luminous intensity. Let us take the 19th one. That is 19th one is luminous flux. Luminous flux. Let us learn about this. Let us study the definition of this. Okay. Luminous flux. Luminous flux or luminous power. Luminous flux or luminous power is the measure of is the is the measure of is the measure of the perceived power of light. The perceived power of perceived power of light. Okay, it is a measure of perceived power of light. Okay, it differs from the measure of total power of emitted light. It differs differs from the measure of the total power of light emitted. Total power of light emitted. Okay, it differs from the light emitted. Okay, next one. Uh, it is termed as radiant flux. Termed as radiant flux, termed flux. In that form, the former takes into account the varying sensitivity of a human eye and to differ the wavelength to the flux. Next one is SI unit of luminous flux is lumen. The SI unit of luminous flux luminous flux is lumen. The SI unit of luminous flux is lumen. It is small l, small m. Okay, one lumen is one lumen is defined as the defined is defined as the luminous flux of light. Luminous flux of luminous flux of light produced by a light source produced by a light produced by light source that that emits that emits one candela of luminous intensity. Luminous intensity. Luminous intensity over a solid angle. Over a solid angle of one steradian. One SR. Okay, that is steradian. The last definition in this chapter is electric resistance. So it is 20th one is electrical resistance. Okay, electrical resistance. We'll see the definition. Electrical resistance is represented by capital R, and in circuit it is represented like this. This is the resistance of R. Okay, in circuit it is represented like this. Let us see the definition of this. Resistance is the measure of the opposition to the current flow. It is a measure of the opposition to the current. It is a measure of opposition to the current flow in an electric circuit. In an electrical circuit. So resistance Okay, electrical resistance is a measure of opposition. It is a measure of opposition to the current flow of an in an electrical circuit is called resistance. Okay, resistance is a measure of it is measured in ohms, as we discussed. It is measured in it is resistance is measured in ohm. This is Greek Greek letter omega. Greek letter omega. Okay, this is termed as ohm. This is termed as ohm. Okay, this is termed as ohm. Okay, symbol. Okay, when the we can also represent like this by Ohm's law. I is equal to V by R, where R is equal to V by I. This is the formula of resistance of a circuit. Okay, when a voltage is applied across a substance, there will be an electric current through it. Okay, this is the definition of resistance. When an voltage is applied across the substance, there will be an electric current through it. This is the formula of resistance. This is an end of the chapter number 1. This is a complete chapter 1. If you have any doubts, please comment, and if you want more videos, please comment in the comment section. Thank you.